Coming up next on Channel 4's Eyewitness News.
Local drivers run into ice problems from this morning's freeze. It's going to get even colder tonight. Alfred Hughes officially becomes the 13th Archbishop of New Orleans. And the Guidry women fight back. They claim Al Copeland was the aggressor at the infamous Steakhouse brawl.
WWL-TV, Channel 4, New Orleans. This is Louisiana's news leader. Channel 4's Eyewitness News.
Good afternoon, I'm Eric Paulson. Thanks for joining us today. Be prepared to turn up the heat once again tonight. After below freezing temperatures this morning for much of the metro area, forecasters are looking for even colder temperatures tonight. Let's begin with David Bernard of the Weather Center and more on tonight's hard freeze warning for both sides of the lake. David?
Well, a hard freeze occurred this morning area-wide, and we're going to have it again tomorrow. In the city last night, we had a freeze, but it rained just above a hard freeze. It was only a light to moderate freeze, but tonight it looks like not even here in the city because of the decreasing winds will we be able to escape that. So the freeze warning basically covers not only our area, but all of the Gulf Coast over into Alabama and all of southern and northern Louisiana as well. People, pets, pipes, and plants once again need to be protected. And again, most of you have already done that, preparing for last night's freeze. Here's a look at our latest forecast numbers for tonight. Incidentally, according to the Weather Service, these will be the coldest temperatures we've seen since March of 1996, so going back 6 years ago. 15 in Macomb, 16 in Kentwood, 17 across Washington Parish. It should fall to around 18 or 19 along Interstate 12. 23 along the Mississippi Gulf Coast in Biloxi. South of the lake, 26 at Audubon Park, Reserve 24, 23 down Highway 90 into the river parishes, 26 at Galliano, 29 at Grand Isle, and all the way down to Boothville, we're forecasting a 30-degree reading. Port Sulphur should drop to 27. So again, that will affect the entire area all the way down to the coast, Eric. The good news is this is the last freeze that we're going to see for some time.
That is some pretty good news. More in your forecast later in the program. All right, David, thank you. If you haven't done so already, forecasters advise you better finish any hard freeze preparations you might have left behind before sunset today. That means protecting the 4 Ps, plants, pets, pipes, and most importantly, people. Acting State Insurance Commissioner J. Robert Woolley advises residents to keep at least a minimum heating levels in their homes to protect pipes from freezing. Woolley says thermostats should remain at about 65 degrees. This morning's freeze contributed to at least one traffic problem in the metro area. A section of General de Gaulle in Algiers was shut down after a water main broke and ice developed. Because of the slippery conditions, drivers were rerouted to another roadway. Sewage and water board workers placed sand on the road until they could fix the problem up. More flight cancellations are likely today at the world's busiest airport. Atlanta's Hartsfield International has been coping with sleet and snow by opening 12 de-icing pads for planes. Hundreds of flights have already been canceled, and that has an effect on air traffic all over the country since Atlanta is such a major hub. Another tragic Louisiana house fire has claimed more lives, including 5 children. In Lafayette, 8 members of one family died today when fire gutted part of a duplex before dawn. The victims include a husband, his wife, 5 boys ranging in age from 2 years old to 10 years old, and the children's grandmother. The cause of that tragic fire is under investigation. Yesterday, you'll recall, a bit closer to home, a house fire killed 3 young members of a family in Cutoff, leaving the family, the father, and a family friend hospitalized. It's official. Archbishop Alfred Hughes has now become the Catholic Church's 13th Archbishop of New Orleans. The 69-year-old Hughes had been training for the position as coadjutor under Archbishop Francis Schulte. Archbishop Schulte's resignation at age 75 has now been accepted by Pope John Paul II. Archbishop Hughes marked the occasion at a pre-planned event, the blessing of a new medical facility for the needy up in Covington.
In so many ways, we have to be grateful to Archbishop Schulte for the way in which he has facilitated this transition. It's provided me with the opportunity to become aware of so many of the challenges, to meet so many people, and to be better prepared to move forward in hopefully leading and serving the way the Lord wants.
Archbishop Hughes has been on the job for 7 months now in preparation for Archbishop Schulte's planned retirement. It was a fight at Morton Steakhouse on December 15th that made big news. Now the Copeland-Guidry battle is heating up again. This morning, a counter lawsuit was filed by the Guidry family, and the Guidry women spoke out. The women, who were married to Bobby, Chad, and Shane Guidry, appeared at a carefully orchestrated press conference this morning in their lawyer's office. Pamela Guidry, Bobby's wife, spoke out about the night in December when the Guidry family was eating at Morton Steakhouse. Police say the Guidry men got into an argument with longtime rival, former fried chicken king Al Copeland, and beat him up. Bobby Guidry and his sons are each charged with 2 counts of battery. But this morning, Pam Guidry says Copeland was the aggressor.
Mr. Copeland kicked my chair, shoving the chair and myself into Bobby's chair, smashing my leg between the 2 chairs. Bobby's first reaction was to protect me from this violent attack. My leg was very bruised and painful from this injury. Everyone quickly rose from our seats, and my reaction was only to prevent Bobby from being drawn into this unwelcomed confrontation. Everyone was trying to break up Mr. Copeland's attack on us.
Pamela Guidry claims she received a bruise from Mr. Copeland. She adds her son Chad was also injured. Pamela and Chad are countersuing the Copelands for unspecified damages. Copeland sued the Guidry shortly after the altercation in December, alleging they pushed his wife Jennifer, who is 6 months pregnant, to the ground before several people attacked Mr. Copeland. A representative from Al Copeland will respond to Mr. Guidry's lawsuit this afternoon. In other news now, it's another busy day for the New Orleans City Council, with the proposed Lower Garden District Walmart topping the agenda today. A public hearing